In the small, quiet village of Hemlock, nestled on the edge of a dense and eerie forest, a sinister mystery plagued the townsfolk for generations. A curse, they whispered in hushed tones, hung over the village, and it was a curse that had taken countless children over the years. No one knew when or how it began, but the forest held secrets that no one could unravel. On the outskirts of Hemlock, where the village met the dark and foreboding Hemlock forest, stood an ancient oak tree. The villagers called it the Watchful Oak for its twisted branches that seemed to reach out like gnarled skeletal fingers. Local legend had it that the tree marked the entrance to the dreaded forest, and its sinister presence was a constant reminder of the village's dark history. The village of Hemlock was known for its quaint cottages and cobblestone streets, where children once played freely, their laughter filling the air. But as the sun dipped below the horizon, the mood shifted. Parents would call their children inside, and the streets would fall silent as the foreboding forest cast its long, menacing shadow. Amelia Turner, a mother of two, knew the stories well. She had heard them from her own parents and grandparents, and she had never taken the tales lightly. That was why she was determined to keep her children, young Emily and Samuel, safe from the forest's clutches. One crisp autumn evening, as the golden sun painted the sky in shades of orange and pink, Amelia watched her children play in their backyard. The forest loomed nearby, and the watchful oak seemed to cast an eerie gaze upon them. Amelia couldn't help but shudder, feeling the weight of the legend pressing on her shoulders. That night, Amelia tucked her children into bed, kissed them goodnight, and whispered reassuring words to ease their fears. She knew the village had changed. No longer did the children play freely during the day, for fear of the forest that crept closer with each generation. As the night grew darker and the moon shone brilliantly through the children's window, Amelia couldn't shake the feeling of dread that had settled deep within her. She watched the forest from her bedroom window, and the silhouette of the watchful oak seemed to dance in the moonlight. A sudden cry broke the stillness of the night. It was Emily. Amelia rushed to her daughter's room, her heart pounding in her chest. She found Emily trembling in her bed, her small frame covered in cold sweat. "Mommy, I heard voices from the forest," she stammered, her eyes filled with terror. Amelia tried to reassure her daughter. "It's just your imagination, sweetheart. The forest can't hurt you." But even as she spoke the words, doubt gnawed at her. The next day, the village buzzed with news of Emily's fright. Whispers spread like wildfire, and the children's fear of the forest deepened. The village elders, led by the venerable Elder Gray, called for a meeting in the town square. They spoke of the curse of the lost children who had ventured into Hemlock Forest and were never seen again. Elder Gray, a frail man with a long white beard, addressed the villagers, his voice shaky but resolute. "We must find a way to break the curse that haunts our village. We must unravel the secrets of Hemlock Forest." The villagers murmured in agreement, and a collective decision was reached. A group of brave souls, including Amelia, would set out to explore the forest. They believed that answers lay within, that perhaps the ancient trees held the key to the curse. With torches in hand, the group entered the forest, their footsteps echoing through the eerie silence. The watchful oak loomed ahead, its twisted branches casting ominous shadows. As they ventured deeper, the forest seemed to close in on them, the trees growing denser and more menacing. Hours turned into days as the explorers delved deeper into the forest. The air grew colder, and the atmosphere became suffused with an otherworldly energy. The forest seemed to twist and turn, leading them in circles. They heard strange whispers on the wind, the voices of lost children calling out for help. One night, as they made camp beneath the looming canopy, they heard a chilling sound, a haunting melody that sent shivers down their spines. The notes seemed to emanate from the trees themselves, and they realized that the forest was alive with a malevolent presence. Despite their fear, the group pressed on, their determination to unravel the forest's secrets unwavering. They discovered a clearing, and at its center stood a gnarled, ancient tree, unlike any they had ever seen. It was said to be the heart of Hemlock Forest, and they believed that the curse's source lay within. As they approached the tree, a spectral figure materialized before them, a child no older than Samuel, with hollow eyes and a sad, pleading expression. It whispered in a voice that seemed to come from the very depths of the forest, "Help us!" Amelia felt a surge of emotion. She knew these were the lost children of Hemlock, trapped in a liminal space between the living and the dead. The villagers had failed to protect them, and now their spirits were bound to the forest, yearning for release. Amelia turned to her fellow explorers, her voice filled with determination. "We must break this curse and set these children free. We owe it to them and to our village." Together, they devised a plan to appease the forest's restless spirits. They lit a ceremonial fire, and one by one they shared their deepest regrets and fears. They confessed the village's sins and pleaded for forgiveness. The forest, it seemed, demanded not just their words, but their hearts, their genuine remorse. As the night wore on, the spectral children began to fade, their expressions slowly transforming from sadness to peace. The forest, too, seemed to loosen its grip on the group, and they found their way back to the village as the first light of dawn broke through the trees. When they returned to Hemlock, they discovered a profound change in the village. The curse had been lifted, and the children were once again free to play in the sunlight. The village celebrated with a feast, and the elders vowed to protect the forest and the memories of the lost children. But Amelia knew that the forest had not given up all its secrets. It remained a place of mystery, darkness, and hidden terrors. She understood that the curse could return, and the forest would always be a realm of enchantment and danger, a place where the stories of Hemlock's past would forever linger. As the years passed, the village of Hemlock thrived, and the children grew up with a newfound respect for the forest. The curse had been broken, but the legends and stories of Hemlock Forest persisted, serving as a somber reminder of the darkness that could still lurk in the shadows. And the watchful oak, with its twisted branches, continued to stand guard, its roots intertwined with the secrets of the ancient forest. For more scary horror stories, please subscribe.